Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I want to go ahead and talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay. I think that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a complete mess. And it's not because of the whole situation with Mary. It really is a complete show. When you look at what the conversations have been revolving around, at this point, someone should have gotten slapped. Can you imagine? I want you to imagine that someone who you cared for and loved had just died, and the conversation amongst your group of friends is whether or not you had a memorial, what day the memorial on, just the simple fact that people were questioning what was going on with this person who you cared for. And after you have had the discussion with them, they continue to have this discussion. We have a woman in this group of friends where the FBI, the New York Police Department, and I believe Homeland Security raided a bus, raided a parking lot, looking for her because allegedly she is out here stealing folks' money, which is almost a similar situation to what happened in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Tom and Erica, allegedly. Girl, I ain't got no $4 million, okay? So I'm really not sure how, with what we know about Jen, that took a back seat, and Meredith's father's memorial is the big discussion. And it's been the big discussion for probably more than a few episodes now. And then you have Lisa Barlow, who is the definition of a white woman, who literally gets on my TV screen, starts mess, and then cries. I want to know, out of all the people who have something to say about Candace crying, what do you have to say about Lisa? Because at least with Candace tears, I can make sense out of it. With Lisa, I'm not sure how you go in the room, holler and scream and cry, talk about your friend, your best friend, or your good friend of 10 years, and her husband, and her family, throw her all underneath the bus, and you the one that's crying. I don't understand how you can sit here and have conversations about your best friend or your good friend in the memorial service that she had for her father. And then when questions start to come up, you sit there and act like you wasn't a part of the conversation. You're just this great friend. If you were that great of a friend, the conversation would have never even happened, especially in front of your face. Now, you can't control what people say behind the scenes or what's going on in other people, other rooms or whatever. But if somebody brought that to your face, you should have shut it down. And you didn't. Lisa is a mess. I'm not exactly sure what white people or who y'all are and where y'all coming from, but all that iconic, legendary Lisa Barlow is not. Okay? Lisa Barlow is a white woman who starts shit, and then when she get caught up in it, she start crying. That's what Lisa Barlow is. She got a cute style too. I give her that much. Help. The show was horrible. I put everybody wants to be the star. You can tell. What is going on, what happened this last episode didn't make any sense to me. Like, any sense to me. It was literally like, I'm like, what am I watching? Whitney should have gotten choked in that kitchen. I'm not exactly sure. And see, this is a problem. I don't even want. No, I'm saying it. This is the reason why white people, when people start looking at y'all sideways, and even some of the black people, when y'all don't want to acknowledge what's right in front of your face. You're not going to sit here and get me to believe that Mary Cosby, while some people might say she's passive aggressive, okay, right? While Mary Cosby has said some things that make you go, okay, Mary. But you're not going to get me to believe that out of all the women in the group, Mary Cosby, what did Heather Gay say? Bitch, what did she say? She's openly, aggressively, and cruel. Y'all got Jen Shaw, who been knocking y'all upside y'all head since season 1. Y'all got Jen Shaw, who done put her hands on Whitney, done put her hands on Lisa. Heather, she calls you a racist and Shrek. Girl, I think that's worse. And was retweeting stuff about you. But the person who y'all have managed to make the villain of the show is Mary Cosby. And the white people, the white Bravo viewers, y'all are eating it up. But y'all can't even say y'all eating it up because, girl, that's what y'all do. Hello? That's what y'all do. And then y'all wonder when people call y'all racist, why they calling y'all racist. Because of what I just said. You have Lisa Barlow, who has talked about her best friend of 10 years, Meredith, who has talked about Meredith's husband, Seth, who has called Meredith's family posers. And she is the one who is feeding her family lines on camera. You can see, the videos have made their rounds on Twitter. You can see Lisa talking while her son is saying the same lines. But girl, Meredith is a poser? Come on, sister. Lisa, I'm richer than all of you. I don't need to be here. Good. Miss Thing said y'all broke. Mary, Heather. Mary is a kiki. Heather, with her little judgmental self. She's a true, wait, what she say? Snobbiness of a true Mormon. She looks like she's an inbred. It's weird to me, like, they really don't understand how this black woman, Mary, of course, and how this white woman, Meredith, are friends. Like, you can tell they know nothing about loyalty. Meredith has said plenty of times, at this point, the show is done. At this point, I had such high hopes for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but the simple fact that the focus point, the big conversations that are being had is Meredith's father's funeral. When you got a bitch sitting beside y'all who been stealing old folks' money. But Mary is the problem and Meredith is the problem. Not Jen Shaw, who been knocking y'all bitches upside y'all heads since season 1. Not Jen Shaw, who been breaking glasses and throwing shit. Baby, the most aggressive person on the cast. Not the one who they came and arrested. That's not who y'all worried about. Y'all worried about Mary. And why Meredith's friends with her. Lisa wants Meredith to defend her. Who does she need to defend you from, Lisa? Because from what I can see, your good Judies are Whitney and Heather. Bad weather. So why does Meredith need to defend you from your friends? Those are your sisters, girl. Oh, I ain't even got my microphone hooked up. I've been running my mouth this whole time. Shit. Hold up. Okay. 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 Hopefully this make a difference. I hope it do. Anyways, Meredith and Mary have been hurtful to everyone. Have they? Have they? Meredith and Mary have been hurtful to everyone? What show are we watching? So Whitney goes into the kitchen. Girl, I don't even know if this is, we just talking. Cause I don't even know what I'm talking. Girl, we just talking. Whitney goes into the, baby, when Whitney walked into that kitchen and Mary hit her with the, when Mary hit her with that, I'm not doing this, girl, but she ain't going nowhere. Whitney is one of the most delusional white drunks I have seen on TV. She thinks that it is not, she thinks that it's a low blow that Meredith mentioned her father because Meredith knows where her father is. He's resting peacefully. We know where your father at too, Whitney. Probably on the corner begging for a rock. See, y'all need an ignorant bitch on the show. Because the way I would have had Whitney, Rose in there crying, don't mention my motherfucking daddy no more. I done told you about 3 or 4 times. Now, if you want to talk about daddies, let's talk about yours. The one who walking around here with that midnight black mop on his head. Since you want to worry about what daddy's at, let's talk about where your daddy might be, okay? They ain't had no cruel bitch on the show, okay? Anyways, Whitney is weird. She's drunk. I'm trying to give Whitney a pass because I know that Whitney is drunk. You could tell that she was drunk. The way that she was acting was that of a drunk person. Like, Whitney was literally all over the place. The shit that she was saying just did not make sense. Whitney usually sometimes believe, and from what I can remember, used to make sense. That's why I'm going to blame it on the alcohol. Excuse me. I ain't gonna lie. When Whitney told Meredith, well, do you want me hot? Girl. When she was asking Meredith, I guess give her just a yes or no answer. Girl, when Whitney told Meredith, girl, would you like me to hire a private investigator to find out? When I tell you, bitch, I screamed. Right then and there, bitch, I would have went across that bitch face. Girl, when Whitney said that, I ain't gonna lie, baby, I hollered in this house, girl. When Whitney got up, I'm sorry, Mary is a kiki. When Whitney got up and left, after Mary got her ass together, girl, Whitney kind of was getting back with Meredith with that little one line. Should I go hire a private investigator to find out? Baby, right then, girl, her face would have been hitting my hand, okay? Anyways, girl, when she walked by and Mary was standing against that wall, and Mary looked at her up and down, and then smiled and said, women. But I tell y'all, I have never hollered so loud in my life. Mary is a character to me, okay? Okay. I put Whitney is drunk. Meredith basically told Mary, girl, I'm about to go handle this right now. So Meredith, she gets up and she goes into the room and they get to all hollering and screaming and crying. Well, Meredith was. No, they wasn't crying. Oh, Lisa was crying. Anything new? That's one old crying bitch. How you gonna be that goddamn messy starting shit? A messy starter and be the first one to drop a tear? Mary was in the kitchen minding her business. Whitney comes back out, hollering and screaming, where is Mary Cosby? She should be here for her friend. Whitney said they was in the room trying to console Meredith. Girl, about pressuring and questioning her about her father's memorial? Jen is with her lawyer. They basically talking about, you know, she hasn't been in contact with Stewart. What would happen if Stewart, basically, if the lawyer basically only gets in contact with the other lawyer, stays in contact with Stewart's lawyer. They really don't have anything to worry about unless he flips. And from what I heard about 2 months ago, baby, Miss Stewart, she took a plea deal. So mama flipped, okay? I need to Google Jen Shaw and see what's going on with her. So Lisa is with her family. When I tell you, baby, Mary must have got under Lisa's skin. We ain't seen Lisa, bitch, we ain't seen Lisa fix a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, okay? We ain't seen that bitch put a cracker on a plate. We ain't seen that bitch put a piece of bread and girl on a plate. Now she in the kitchen with a mini grill trying to cook. Because you've been over there feeding your family Taco Bell and big gulps. Okay? Mary was getting her ass together girl, I'm sorry. How the fuck you just gonna be around here? Girl, listen. I ain't the best eater, okay? But I also know that, girl, at some point, girl, you can't be eating fast food every day. And then when your body get clogged up, then y'all wonder why you're dying. Anyways, girl, fix a salad, shit. Mary's church. Girl, Mary's church is a mess. Girl, I'm not gonna lie. That church is a mess. As much as I love Mary, that church is a mess. But I'm gonna go ahead and say something, girl. Mary's church really ain't no different than any other church. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but Mary's church, in the way that the people at that church praise Mary, is no different than any other church. I just want y'all to think about it. When you hear these stories surrounding Jamal Bryant and Pastor John Gray and Eddie Long, girl, he dead, but the stories that you heard about him and the other pastors, baby, these people, the congregation will, baby, stand in front of their pastor and take a bullet. Don't you say nothing about their pastor. You done heard 5 stories about Jamal Bryant. You done heard 4 stories of John Gray out here cheating, allegedly, on his wife, on a couple of stories. And then he'll admit to it, and girl, the congregation still will sit there and pray, that's my pastor. Don't you disrespect the man of God. You know how y'all do. So I don't know why y'all trying to start acting like, girl, what Mary got going on in her church. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I wouldn't go to her shit. Well, I don't participate in church no more. So I'm not going to hers or nobody's. But I'm just saying, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, that's how the girls do. And I'm sure Lisa, who is a practicing Mormon, right? I'm sure Heather and the other ones, they know. Like I said, Heather, wasn't your brother just at your dining room table or somebody's table crying? Girl, these hoes make me sick. Anyways, when Miss Thing said that Mary was a perfect dresser and Mary smiled, bitch, my time was screaming. That whole scene was a mess. Do I believe it's a cult? Yeah, but like I done said 15,000 times, I believe all churches are cults. What's up? Sue me. Okay? You ain't gonna get nothing. Whitney lied, basically. She lied and said that Mary said that her father was an addict. First of all, Mary didn't say that, but girl, that's what I would have said. Since you want to talk about daddies, then let's talk about daddies. If you want to talk about what daddies are at, let's talk about where your daddy might be at. Okay? Since you want to talk. Ain't no such thing as a low fucking blow, bitch, when you sitting here talking about my daddy and he just died. Girl. Bad weather threw Lisa under the bus. That's all I got from that. This show was a mess. This show was a hot ass mess. I don't care what nobody got to say. This show was a mess. Like, I had such high hopes for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I really, really did. And I just don't. I just don't anymore. Like, They could really take this shit off the air and I wouldn't even be fazed. It's that much of a shit show. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all girls later. I'm about to go here and I just made me some baked chicken. Come on! I was gonna fry it. I got some little chicken, you know little flats you can get from you know the little flats you can buy. I had bought some the other day and I was gonna fry them, but I said I made me some baked chicken and I made me some green beans, and that's what I'm about to eat. Okay, because I don't want to be like Lisa over here putting all that shit in my body. We getting older, okay? We should have had this shit under control a long time ago. Lisa over there feeding her husband and sons big gulps and Taco Bell. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.